Alright, so we got the Rumble video started. I know to go to the Rumble to check out the studio quality, unless you don't like the verticals, because you know the vertical is its own thing. It's its own world. Good morning. Welcome back, Team DWC. It's your boy TWP Popcorn. Y'all already know what time it is. It's like 10 o'clock on a Sunday. If not, it'll be 6 p.m. Wednesday. If not, then come back and look for me 10 a.m. Saturdays. You know, after we do 8 o'clock Super Saturdays over on Spider Pig. If you ain't fucking with Super Saturdays, I appreciate it because I don't need nobody over there hate watching me. I'm going to just go click his video and then click right off of it so the algorithm thinks I didn't like it. Yeah, you know how haters are because hell, there's plenty of them. Make sure if you like the content, you support the content. Support the content, we'll keep coming for you. Because that's what we do. Anyways, we got some videos to review. Today's video topic is THC, whatever, something like that. You know how it go. Anyways, let's get straight to them so I can roll up and talk my ish like I do anyways.
Pick a strain, whatever you want, you can get. Indica sativa, never rolling plain Jane. I know some people, if you want, drop 50, we ain't gon' cop any. Little mama got plenty, so many strain, puffing the flame, nothing but dro. One for the brain, one for the body, one for the soul. Running with strange, keeping the party under control. Up, away, flying, how far are we gonna go? Smoke team in the building, got 'em, is what the deal is. Recognize coming with Burns, Felix with Filming County boy, got the liquor. Casso was on the fader, Stevie came with the greenery, mixing multiple flavors, whatever you want, homie. Tell me when to say when. How about you and your friends? Come get with me and my friends and keep it real with me, girl. I don't want to pretend like this is a new thing. Really, that's what it's been like.
What up, gang? It's your boy Zah, man, back with another banger. And it's been a couple days, I know, man. Happy New Year, first of all. Happy New Year. Uh, Happy holidays. Peace, love, blessings, and prosperity to you and all your families, for sure. It's been a couple days, man. I'm down, bruh. I got the vid, bruh. The vid 24, man. You hear me? I got the vid, but I'm strong, man. You hear me? So I've been down for a couple days, but we back. And I've been thinking about you guys, man. And I wanted to touch base with you guys, man. There has been some questions, a question in particular that reaches me often, and it's how much space do I need to breed with? How much space do I need to start my breeding journey? And today, I'm going to cover some details about my particular area and space that I work with, as well as giving you some suggestions for your own at-home breeding project, man. And so with no further ado, let's get straight into it. Get bow.
Like, comment, share, subscribe, you heard me? Yeah, you know it. Turn up the leaf blower and the low mama. Should have been a hippie, should have been a child. Bread with no dread, oh yeah.
Don't forget to join the Discord.
All right, so when it comes to breeding space, the most important thing to recognize is knowing that your main objective is creating your own population. So with that in mind, specifically our F2 generation, we're gonna want to be able to plant as many as possible. And we talked about yesterday with the group gene frequency, right? And when we talk in terms of gene frequency is referring to how much or how frequently these alleles or traits are showing up your population. So some traits may have less of a gene frequency than others, while others may have a higher gene frequency. And when they have a high gene frequency, they show up many more times throughout the population. Let's give you an example. Green plant. A green plant, the color green, is a very high frequency in our community, right? Within our populations, within mostly all the populations, right? We can almost 100% expect for majority, if not all of the population to come out green. That is a very high frequency of that particular trait. And when we're dealing with traits, the only way to unmask.
That's true, because I've hardly ever ran into genetics that are actually overly abundant in multiple colors, meaning I have yet to find a cannabis strain that actually is the color it's supposed to be. Say, for instance, White Widow is actually supposed to be an all white plant. That's how you know the fuck what it is. You don't just call it White Widow because it sounds good. No, that plant is supposed to be white. Which lets you know, oh, hold on, we got a white plant. So that's one of these white hereditary dominant genes that are rare. You see what I'm saying? Which would make White Widow rare because the plant itself actually, it doesn't grow green, it grows white, and then hence why the buds are white. It ain't that you got a green plant with white buds. Now your buds can change colors, but the whole plant itself is supposed to be white. Shouts out to that big homie, cooking with love and more. I see you, bro. Appreciate that thumbs up. You know, he ain't a hater. Shouts out to the haters, though.
As many
we do need some of those
variables as possible because we want variability. Then we need to plant as many seeds as possible. Now, it's not impossible to start your breeding project with a small at-home setup. All right? It's not impossible, but there's something that you need to understand, and that's called the trained eye. So for me, when it comes to selecting, I have a trained eye. I know what I'm looking for. And in the beginning of your selection, it may be a lot easier to differentiate the dominant traits, the observable traits, right? We can see the differences. But as you move closer and closer towards uniformity or stability, you know, and most of these offspring start to look like each other. Once we start to push more towards uniformity, you need much more of a trained eye to spot the differences for the selection process. It becomes more difficult as you become more skilled. And you need to understand that when in terms of selecting, you want to have as many options as possible to look at, right? Or you'll need to really have a good trained eye. So, I'll give you my perspective. Coming from the dog world, we only are able to work with a limited amount of offspring, 10 puppies, 8 puppies, 5 puppies, sometimes less. So when we think of seeds and having thousands and thousands of offspring, it gives us the ability to see way more possibilities and variabilities, way more options are on the table. And it makes the selection process much more efficient and less time consuming overall. Now, with that example, I'm going to give you a good perspective on how I select when I'm dealing with limited space. All right, gang, real quick intermission. Make sure you visit the website zazagenetics.com. Make sure stop by acinfinity.com and use code TEAMZAZA for a discount at checkout. Join us on Discord. Join us on Instagram, zaza.genetics.official. And please make sure to comment, like, and subscribe. It really helps me continue to get these videos out to you. And it just shows support, man. So if you want to join Team Zaza, the YouTube subscription is opened up. You can join 3 different Team Zaza membership levels. Our newest member, welcome to the team, Ansar Black. Make sure you follow Ansar Black, man. He is the newest Team Zaza YouTube member. Hit that notification bell. That way you always be in tune for every time I drop a video. I just vision it as if I'm still breeding a litter of puppies, right? So I know if I only have 10 puppies to deal with or 10 seeds to plant, then I have to be really specific and really use my trained eye to make sure any subtle differences I can identify, whether desirable or undesirable, just depends on my overall objective. First thing, you need to be able to kill off plants that are not breeding quality. And you need to be able to do that aggressively, effectively, right? And efficiently. You need to be able to kill off and cull any plants that are not meant for your breeding program. You need to find those early on because you don't have many offspring to work with. In the dog world as well, when we only dealing with 3 puppies, a lot of times you're gonna miss, right? You may miss, you may just not have the opportunity with this litter because the traits that you're looking for just are not there in this round. So you have to try again with the same mother and father. You know, and the same thing with seeds, man. You know, if you end up killing all those first 10, you plant the next 10, right? And it really resembles how we work in the dog world. You just gotta try again. Just understand that it is possible to breed selectively at home with limited space, but just know that you will be limited as far as your variable traits. You know, your variabilities, your options. You'll be limited, and not only will you be limited, but you know you need to be prepared to try again. At first you don't succeed, you will be looking to try again, and you'll be culling out a lot of those plants. So it's gonna be a lot more time that you'll be spending, right? The more selections you have, the more opportunities, the more seeds you have planted, the more plants you have to look at, the less time you'll have to consume because you'll have more options to go after, more phenotypical expressions. You'll have a higher gene frequency of traits and alleles that we are used to, right? So now, as far as my setup, I rock 2 4x4 side by side. One is for strength building. We want to build strength and select only the strongest ones, right? It's more so to see who can make it as breeding stock. And then once we've selected those and said, okay, they are good breeding quality so far, they have the good strengths and qualities and desirable traits that we are looking for, then they move into what we call the graveyard, also a 4x4, and it's just complete harsh stress testing conditions, and a lot of the plants don't survive. But it helps me to cull out naturally what will be resembled outside. We would call it natural selection, right? Only the strongest survive. So we put it through these artificial tests to try to mimic some of the conditions that you may experience in an outside environment. And we just increase them drastically to put them in the gauntlet, man. In the graveyard, if you survive the graveyard, then you guaranteed are a special specimen. And you'll be making it, hopefully, to the next round
saying though, that's cool because he only rolling two 4x4 tents. Y'all know we got that 4x4 behind us. Shout out to that Morris Hydro tent. Then we got that Vivo stuff that y'all can see somewhere in the background behind the little laptop. Shout out to that tent because you know it's that working. We ain't gonna talk about what's in there right now because that was probably just a mini tree. Yeah, because the money tree in there just in the DWC pot. I will be having to do some watering Wednesday, which is on my schedule for the week because you know we gotta clean up again and then we gotta change out all the goddamn water. So although I probably should do that on this 3-day break, I actually took some time off so that way I can be really reset and mentally there. Also, right, the story for Spider Pig, you know these what if channels need to be shut down for the what ifs. What if this happened? What if this happened? Shit ain't happening, but you know how it goes out here. We gonna keep up our side of the work anyway. Appreciate that much. So anyways, let me get back to where we was going because you know, as I said, you know, hey, whatever space you want to develop, you can develop, but just remember, he's trying to get into F2s and really lock in on what all you have available from this breed. You're going to need more plants than what you would normally be operating with. So if you get a lot of seeds as your F2 seeds, you want to get as many as them pop so you already know what traits is spitting out. You see the sense when you come back and try to get it, these are the ones you're going to be looking for because you already know, all right, I want good looking seeds that pop and did this, this, and this. Shout out to taking notes and all that because, hey, if you're going to experiment, you better be taking some notes either mentally for yourself or to let people actually see what you actually did and how you did it. You know, it's the homework philosophy all over again. You got to show your work so we can understand how to continue it for one, and two, how to improve on it. You know, it's always supposed to be about solutions and improvements. If the solution and improvement, as long as the problem is unsolved, we'll be cool as long as there's an improvement. That's how you actually get
imagine that expanding nationwide. Cultivation, distribution, retail compliance, and even marketing sectors would thrive. And then there's the tax revenue. Scalable. The city of Dallas is no longer enforcing a charter amendment when it comes to marijuana. The Proposition R was passed, you remember, by voters in November. It decriminalized pot possession under 4 ounces. That's first even denied a lot. Actually, Paul to explain that 60 about 67% of Dallas voters supported that basically decriminalized marijuana to about 4 ounces or less. And last week, the city of Dallas joined the Attorney General's Office of Texas in basically pausing that following an appeals court ruling about the cellular law in San Marcos and Austin. Voters last November overwhelmingly approved changes to the Dallas City Charter that decriminalized smaller amounts of marijuana. That amendment restricted police from arresting most people who possess less than 4 ounces of marijuana. It also prevented police from using the odor of marijuana by itself as probable cause. Attorney General Ken Paxton immediately sued the city. What the Attorney General is doing is challenging whether the city's law has passed conflicts with state law and whether or not the city can pass such a law. Enforcement of the law was put on hold until that.
See, that's that bullshit because if the people vote for something, it's whatever the people say. It ain't the state or the Fed. It's the fucking people. Because without the fucking people, you don't have no state or Fed. So if people come together, sit down and have a discussion, which is what they're supposed to do. It's supposed to talk things out. Hey, why don't you like such and such? Because I'm dumb. Okay, well, since you're dumb, we're going to need you to spend dumb money on enforcement. Therefore, since you don't like it, you pay to get it enforced. Is that cool? Yeah, that's cool. Because if I'm in charge of the enforcement, at least, since I didn't like it, then I can make sure that y'all are following the rules, because that's when I get my get back, right? Right. I mean, I don't understand this type of easy system. They don't actually want to solve the problem, they just want to create them. So I keep telling them, hey, y'all government officials, y'all got so much longer with dealing with all these goofy people that's more worried about twerking on Twitter than actually solving problems. But you get how that is. One of these days, it'll fix itself. Guess what? Somebody out there gonna get out some problems out, and people that ain't about that get solved. That's how it be. So you know how it is. I mean, hey, if you're part of the problems, well, you don't get part of the solutions. Solution. It's inevitable, Mr. Anderson. Shout out to the Matrix. I might have to watch that over on Spider Pig.
Last week, the city of Dallas filed a joint motion with the AG's office for a temporary injunction. I spoke to former Dallas County Assistant District Attorney Russell Wilson about the case. On the surface, somebody may look at this and say, the city is going against the will of the people. Explain how that's not necessarily the case. So the city can still argue that it does have a right to pass the law as it did, and that issue can be argued. It just means in the meantime, until that issue is argued, the city could immediately enforce the law. Court documents from the motion cited in April ruling out of the 15th Court of Appeals in Austin. The city's filing pointed out that similar voter initiatives in San Marcos and Austin got roadblocked by the AG's office when, quote, the appeals court reversed the trial court's denial of the state's application for a temporary injunction. This is 4 ounces. While there was broad voter support for decriminalization in Dallas, the police chief at the time, Eddie Garcia, said it was not a good idea. Before the 2024 vote, he warned that what might seem like a small amount is still enough to facilitate drug dealing. In my opinion, 4 ounces is not a small amount for personal use. Wilson says the San Marcos and Austin ruling will likely be fast-tracked to the state Supreme Court. Whatever comes down from there will likely decide how Dallas will move forward. If it's put on an expedited timeline because it's an injunction, it may be heard
Still putting up the motherfucking shouts.
Phil Orange. The fruit or the color? Nigga, I'm asking a genuine question.
Nearly 7 months after two teenagers were killed at a house party in Arlington, police say several people are now in custody. The shooting happened at an Airbnb the week of Thanksgiving. Fox Source Peyton Yeager spoke with investigators about what led them to the suspects.
Arlington police tell us this case was complex. Multiple witnesses were at the party, but many were not telling the truth to investigators or just did not come forward at all. But through search warrants, phone records, and interviews, investigators learned that this was a dispute over money. 5 suspects are now in custody connected to a November double homicide off Slaughter Street in Arlington. A birthday party was being hosted at an Airbnb near AT&T Stadium when gunfire erupted. 19-year-old Dayton Allen and 18-year-old Alexis Tyler were shot and killed. The 2 victims were dating. Tyler was pregnant at the time. Arlington police believe Allen owed the suspects money and the murder was planned.
I don't know the sum amount, I really don't, but no life is worth any amount of money like that.
All 5 suspects were charged with capital murder this week. Arlington police tell Fox 4 the lack of witness cooperation delayed their investigation. Plus, homicide detectives had to wait for warrants to be fulfilled on cell phone records. Police learned the group met up in Dallas and then traveled to Arlington that night. Then multiple people opened fire at the Airbnb and took off. Police say one of the suspects, 26-year-old Diamond Curdy, is related to the male victim. Curdy was arrested by Dallas police on Thursday.
She played a part in the planning stages of this. We're making 5 arrests here. There were 5 individuals that played a role in this, and she was a key element of that plan.
With the help of the U.S. Marshals North Texas Fugitive Task Force, 18-year-old Kersavion Whitted, 19-year-old Eddie Walker Jr., and 21-year-old Demarion Owens were arrested on Wednesday. The 5th suspect, 20-year-old Shannon Steele, was already jailed in connection to another prominent crime. Steele was arrested in December for a deadly shootout in 2022 outside a Dallas sports bar. The case featured on Fox 4's Trackdown segment.
We were desperate to solve this case in a timely manner. We're just really proud of the tenacity of the detectives that just never gave up.
Arlington police were able to recover multiple firearms during the arrests and also the search warrants, but those firearms are still being tested to see if they are linked to this double homicide or other crimes here in North Texas. In Arlington, Peyton Yeager, Fox 4 News.
For the second time in 4 days, Dallas police are investigating a violent crime on the streets of Deep Ellum. Good evening, I'm Steve Eager. Police made 1 arrest in Monday's shooting. Then this morning, another incident in the very same area, but this time the violence turned deadly. Fox 4's Alex Boyer covered both of the crimes, and he joins us with the latest. Alex.
Hey, Steven, just a short time ago, the Dallas Police Department identified the victim as 19-year-old David Stribling. Now, the president of the Deep Ellum Foundation tells me by phone that she is really focused on her community today, given that this is the second shooting, as we mentioned, at that popular entertainment district within less than a week. This clothing store, located in the Deep Ellum Entertainment District of Dallas, was unexpectedly closed for business Friday after a bullet shattered the front door. It's a reminder of the fatal shooting that took place nearby early Friday morning.
For the most part, I feel pretty safe.
Sarah Ferfino lives 2 blocks away. Dallas police say the shooting happened just after 12:30 a.m. at Good Latimer Expressway and Main Street. Officers patrolling the area heard the gunfire and found a man injured with gunshot wounds. He died at the hospital. Surveillance video obtained by investigators reportedly showed there was a fight before the shooting. 5 to 6 people were involved. That same video showed the victim falling to the ground as others took off. A rifle with a large drum magazine was recovered from the scene. It's unclear who it belongs to, but it was found next to the shooting victim.
You just always have to be vigilant no matter where you live. And I feel like I'm not here typically for nightlife.
The fatal shooting happened in nearly the same spot as another shooting this past Monday, where a woman hit her head trying to escape the gunfire. Later that morning, I talked to the Deep Ellum Foundation president about their efforts to keep people safe.
We have a dedicated task force to the Deep Ellum area for the fact that we are an entertainment district, like many counterpart districts across the country. But we also hire our own off-duty officers, both from the Dallas Police Department and other departments.
In response to Friday's deadly shooting, Stephanie Hudeberg sent me a statement saying, in part, as a mother, my heart goes out to the family. Deep Ellum is first and foremost a community and one that believes strongly in taking care of each other. We work every single day around the clock to promote a safe and inclusive environment that supports our vibrant nightlife and high volumes of visitors. Ferrufino supports the efforts by the foundation and police.
I don't think it's as bad as maybe the perception for people who don't live in the area.
And I can tell you that the foundation says that they're working with city leaders to take what they call urgent action and develop new policies that better support the popular entertainment district. Now, initially, we had been told that 3 people had been detained in regards to this shooting, but in that same press release that we got a short time ago identifying the victim, it also added that this case is going to be referred to a grand jury, adding that the investigation, Steve, is ongoing.
Yeah, quick question, Alex. It sounds like the circumstances could be a shootout type of thing. Have police said that's what it was?
So that's what they're saying, that there was some kind of shootout between possibly 2 groups of people, but then aside from that, have not added any additional details except to now say kind of cryptically that this case is going to be referred to a grand jury, which means that they have somebody that they believe is somewhat responsible for this shooting.
Got it. Okay.
Hey, good morning, guys. Yeah, information is still pretty limited at this hour, but police are saying that right now they don't have any known suspects at this time, but several people were taken into custody for questioning as well. So Dallas Police, they do say the shooting happened just after midnight on Main Street and Latimer Expressway, Good Latimer Expressway. Officers heard the gunfire and found a man injured with gunshot wounds. He was taken to a local hospital and died shortly after. Surveillance video shows there was a fight before the shooting. 5 to 6 people were involved, and the video shows the victim falling to the ground as others take off. 3 men were taken into custody for questioning. A rifle with a large drum magazine was recovered from the scene, and it's unclear who it belongs to, but it was found next to the shooting victim. Now, this is the second shooting in Deep Ellum this week. We first reported on Good Day on Monday that a group of people were shooting at each other near Punch Bowl Social early Monday morning. A woman was caught in the crossfire and injured herself after falling and hitting her head. No other injuries were reported. The Dallas Police are still looking for the suspects in that incident as well. So if anyone knows anything, they are urged to call Dallas Police as soon as possible so that they can solve these 2 incidences that happened in Deep Ellum this week. A good day. I'm Tisha Muzinga.
Well, Dallas police have made 1 arrest in connection to the murder of a man in March, but 1 suspect tonight still on the run. 30-year-old Victor Rojas was shot on South Buckner Boulevard. His family says that he'd gone to the gym that night and never returned. Fox 4's Peyton Yeager spoke to the victim's family. Peyton.
Hi, Heather. Back in March, Dallas police didn't release many details on this case. Now this week, they are asking for the public's help. The victim's family is still waiting for complete justice, telling us the last time they spoke to Victor Rojas, he was headed to the gym. Dallas police posted this wanted poster Wednesday on social media. Investigators looking for 18-year-old Jose Salas Jr., accused of murdering a man back in March. The night of March 3rd, officers responded to a Quick Trip gas station at South Buckner Boulevard and Samuel Boulevard. These stills taken by Fox 4 photojournalist Terry Van Sickle. Police say 30-year-old Victor Rojas was shot and killed, his body found next to his truck and the gas pump.
If they know him and they know where he's at, speak up. It's scary. Totally understand that. It's scary, even for us.
Rojas's family did not want their identities revealed, scared for their own safety, with Salas not in custody. Door to the Quick Trip. That night, Rojas told his wife he was going to work out, part of his usual evening routine. But Rojas Rojas not release a motive. Rojas's family says police told them that 2 suspects were attempting to carjack the 30-year-old as he was leaving the gym. Back in April, 20-year-old Alex Hernandez was taken into custody connected to Rojas's murder, but Salas is still on the run.
If they had the heart to do that to him, how are we sure that he or they won't be willing to do that to somebody else's family member?
Dallas police say the search for Salas is part of the department's initiative called Operation Justice Trail. Just last month, Dallas's new police chief, Daniel Como, announced his first major operation, targeting violent felons. Meanwhile, Rojas, described as a hardworking father of 2 young boys and a loving husband.
Losing Victor has been very hard for all of us. But I will say it has been harder for, of course, his wife and his kids.
There is a Crime Stoppers reward for any information leading to the arrest of Salas. And as for the other suspect, Alex Hernandez, who was arrested back in April, we also checked, and he has since bonded out of the Dallas County Jail on his murder charge. Heather?
All right, Peyton Yeager reporting live. Thanks, Peyton. Nearly 80 people were arrested during a 2-month operation in Tarrant County.
The Joint Task Force focused on violent offenders and drug operations. Fox 4's Peyton Yeager has more on the drugs seized. Peyton.
Hi, Steve and Heather. This is called Operation Showdown, one of the largest initiatives we have seen here in the region. All right, federal partners pinpointed 5 hotspot areas in the city of Fort Worth where there's a large volume, a high crime rate of gun and drug trafficking.
They are no longer out there peddling their guns and their drugs.
Acting U.S. Attorney for the Northern District of Texas, Nancy Larson, talking about the 76 individuals arrested in the 60-day joint undercover crackdown, given the name Operation Showdown.
Many of the individuals arrested in this operation are convicted violent felons. Others are in our country illegally and have suspected ties to the Venezuelan transnational criminal organization Tren de Aragua.
Of the 76, 8 were in the country illegally, according to the Department of Justice. 287 firearms were seized, many equipped with illegal machine gun conversion devices. Also recovered 22 kilograms of drugs, including heroin, cocaine, methamphetamine, and fentanyl.
The amount of fentanyl seized in this investigation was enough for 240,000 deadly doses of fentanyl.
I mean, y'all know we wasn't just watching this video because people got shot at the beginning. Nah. There's reasons behind the people getting shot.
Federal partners worked with Fort Worth police to identify areas across the city with noticeably high violent crime rates. A collaborative effort among DEA, ATF, U.S. Marshals, and local law enforcement.
I came in, I said, we've got $300,000 extra dollars of taxpayers' money. What's the best way we can use it? Everyone immediately said, let's go to Fort Worth.
Wednesday, Fort Worth Interim Police Chief Robert Aldridge did acknowledge the violence that happened in the city over the weekend, not linked to gangs, drugs, or high crime areas. 5 people killed in less than 24 hours in all 4 corners of the city.
Many innocent people lost their lives. We have some great officers out in the field that are working tirelessly to make sure this doesn't happen.
As for the suspects arrested during Operation Showdown, authorities believe that their trials will begin at the end of summer, early fall. It's also confirmed that ICE was involved in some of these apprehensions. Steve?
All right, Peyton Yeager tonight. Peyton, thanks.
A Dallas-based college says it's now facing online attacks because the man accused in the Minnesota lawmaker shootings was once a student there. The school's leadership spoke exclusively today to Fox 4's Sean Rabb. Sean in now live with new reporting. Sean.
course, we're talking about the school in Oak Cliff, Christ for the Nations. They tell me it has been a tough week, so much so they've had to increase security. Everyone knows now that Vance Belter was a student there 1988 to 1990. A perfect student, academically and otherwise, no issues. But his actions have created new problems for the school. The president says, look, we've done nothing wrong, we've taught nothing wrong, we teach nothing wrong, and we're standing strong on our faith.
It hits our heart because our heart is to train these students up, is to prepare them to go into the world to bring Jesus. And when you see the opposite happen, it hits us hard.
And when word spread that Vance Luther Belter, the man charged with murder and attempted murder in Minnesota for attacking and assassinating elected political officials, was a student at Christ for the Nations between 1988 and 1990, we're told a straight A student, the Bible school found itself in a storm of vitriol.
We got lots of emails, we got phone calls, we were blasted on social media attacking us, saying that shocking things, that we are responsible for the assassination in Minnesota. We've heard phrases like, you guys are the American ISIS, and that you guys are a radical group.
This is not who we are. This is not what we believe in. We're not a cult. We're not teaching violence at all. And we actually do the very opposite. And so we want to get that to the public. We don't want anybody to think otherwise, because we want them to come here and learn the heart of Jesus.
The school has had to increase security because of the anger aimed at it, in part around a statement from Gordon Lindsay, Christ for the Nations founder.
It's sad when we hear people twisting words such as what my grandfather used to say, go every day and pray one violent prayer a day. That's one of the main things that he would say.
And what does that mean? Go on.
It's nothing to do with violence in the physical at all. It's to be fervent and in your prayer, passionate with what you pray about, with your faith, believing the Lord's going to come through, and that's something to do in the spirit realm.
After what has happened, and much of the focus has been on that sentence, do you plan to take that down off your website?
I don't happen to take it. I'm not going to take it down. One thing, now, maybe I'm wrong about it, but I believe that I don't let the public's view and their opinions alter what we believe here. If I passion in my heart that the Lord said this is what we're about, this is what truth is, then we will hold on to that.
Holding on to their beliefs and offering condolences to the families touched by unspeakable tragedy in Minnesota.
It's not our heart. We pray for them, and we just want to say we're sorry for what had happened.
Golan Lindsay wants everyone to know that since the school's inception by his grandfather nearly 40 years ago, more than 40,000 students have been trained here and are doing the work of ministry globally. Never anything at all like this. And he adds, whatever happened to change Vance Luther Belter was not something learned at Christ for the Nations.
All right, Sean Rabb reporting live for us. Thank you.
Today, North Texas police and federal agents raided several locations in a crackdown on the sale of illegal THC products.
The Allen Police Department says it executed search warrants at 3 Dallas warehouses, as well as homes in Plano, Carrollton, and Colleyville. Fox 4's Lori Brown reports.
The first time I walked in one of these stores, I couldn't believe it. Yesterday, I was at one of the warehouse locations. When you walk in, it looks like a huge candy warehouse. These are brightly colored packaging, obviously marketed toward our younger generations.
Allen Police Chief Steve Dye is an outspoken critic of THC products he says are poison.
Now that just sounds dumb. Just because they're brightly colored doesn't directly mean that they being marketed to kids, because at the same goddamn time, the only place you're supposed to be able to sell this is supposed to be either dispensaries, liquor stores, or wherever they say. But these people are supposed to make sure that 21 plus items aren't picked up by kids to begin with. So I mean, you can't go in that cabinet right there because you're under 21 type shit. But yeah, I mean, there's people that do sell to kids, so those are the problems, not the damn products themselves. It's people that ain't gonna do their goddamn job, which is what we keep talking about in 2025. Hell, by the end of the goddamn year, y'all gonna get tired of hearing me talk about people that ain't doing their job. Cause I mean, I show y'all my work. You dig? I show y'all my work. You know, like this dude popcorn been out here putting in work, and the funny thing about it is he told you he wasn't doing nothing but putting in work. He started off with a workbook in 2024, then he came out with homework in 2025 because he said, you know what, I'm gonna stay my ass at home and actually do some homework. You dig? Put it in there. Put it in there.
To unsuspecting buyers. His department started investigating the sale of consumables with illegal levels of THC nearly a year ago after the community complained about vape shops.
The first thing we found, and we actually had video of this, are the kids going in and out of the stores. And so that became alarming.
Dye says the undercover investigation found products that are much more potent than marijuana.
The vast majority of the products that we were testing were over the 0.3% legal limit for THC. And then the openness of the clerks and owners to talk to them about what gets you the most high, what's the hottest product.
Dye says search warrants at 3 Dallas warehouses targeted the suppliers.
I've sat down and spoken to the mothers who have children, so many of whom are adults now, that are probably never going to have the same quality of life because of using these THC products at a young age.
Officers seized more than 75,000 pounds of THC consumable products.
34.5 tons. Of gross weight THC. It's truckloads, the cash, the jewelry, the vehicles, and the financial accounts that were seized. It's roughly about $7 million.
The raids come as THC producers and sellers wait to find out if their products will be banned statewide. The proposal is pending before Governor Abbott, with just days left for him to decide what to do with it.
We're very hopeful that once he looks at all that data, that it's really going to lead him to the same conclusions that we've come to.
Dye, who is also with the Texas Police Association, says it's not just manpower, but the cost of testing, which he says is too expensive. As for those with legitimate medical needs, Dye says the bill does expand the compassionate use access, which he says allows people to get medicinal marijuana products through authorized locations.
Why would we in Texas ever recommend that somebody goes down to a gas station or a strip center and buys a product that's never been tested or approved by the FDA, that many times the contents in the package don't match the label? That's dangerous for everyone, not just young people.
Lori Brown, Fox 4 News.
Well, what started as a verbal altercation ended in a violent assault by two women against one outside a nightclub, late night club earlier this month. The victim is now fighting to save her eyesight. Dallas police hope you know about the suspects that you're about to see. Fox 4's Sean Rabb has this week's track down.
We're in the 10,800 block of Composite Drive outside Mr. Bellagio After Hours nightclub. This is Detective Michael Bowie, Dallas Police Assaults. Detective, what happened here earlier this month?
This has happened early Sunday morning on June the 1st at about 3:23 a.m. My victim have a little verbal altercation with a group of females.
And all of this is on video, sir?
Yes, it's all of this on the video. The suspect approached her in an aggressive manner, and then suddenly she used her fist and punched her to her face, to her eyes, and the suspect, she fell, and then my victim is backed up, non-confrontational, and then the suspect got up, and then she continued to punch her, and then another female suspect joined her, and then she continued to punch her in the face. They led to continue to over here to the next parking lot. She knocked my victim unconscious, and then both the suspects started kicking her and stomped her on the head and caused severely injury to both her eyes.
Tell me about your suspects.
The first suspect is white Hispanic or white female. She is about 5'4", heavy set, and she have a distinguished big tattoo on her left thigh.
A big tattoo on her left thigh?
Yes, sir.
What about her hair? Short, long?
It's a short hair, and we believe that her original hair is black, but she dyed in the blonde color. The second suspect is a white or Hispanic female. She was wearing a jeans, black shoes. She have a Mavericks jersey with the number 77 in the back of her.
What do you need, sir?
Good morning.
I need
How
the
you
public
doing?
assistant to
Check out
help
the
me
blood
to
files.
identify the suspect.
Is it your opinion that when people see the
days.
video, if they know her, they'll know her?
Yes, sir. They will definitely. The video is so clear that they will know who she is. That's what I'm here for.
How can folks get at you, Detective Michael Bowie?
They can contact me at 214-671-3538, 214-671-3538, or they can email me at michaelbowie@dallaspolice.gov.
If you recognize either of the women, especially the heavyset woman with the tattoo on her left thigh, get at Detective Michael Bowie, Dallas Police Assaults. Get at it, his phone number or his email. Help find the women who attacked this woman and left her unconscious here, beaten and bloody, in the parking lot at Mr. Bellagio earlier this month.
And you can watch past to track down stories, maybe even help solve a crime. Head to the Fox 4 YouTube page, youtube.com/Fox 4 News.
The Fort Worth Police Department says it is trying to get ahead of illegal activity around the July 4th holiday, hoping to make celebrations safe and in order. Fox 4's Deion Anglin joins us with more from the city's interim police chief. Deion.
Hi there, Clarice. Well, prevention and heavy monitoring for any trouble. These are among the ways the Fort Worth Police Department aims to make the upcoming July 4th holiday a safe one.
Plain and simple. There's laws on the books. You can't possess them. You can't have them. You can't shoot them off. You can't do anything with fireworks. And so they are illegal in the city limits of Fort Worth.
Before we even get to July, Fort Worth Police want to minimize any illegal activity that may pop off.
One thing that is very important to note is that we have a lot of celebratory gunfire on 4th of July. We are doing our best to get people to not do that because what goes up comes down.
Interim Police Chief Robert Aldrich told City Council members there are teams of officers and firefighters currently working with neighborhood groups and apartment communities, stressing compliance with the law. They're also aggressing the dispatch staff to include trained civilians to handle the typical surge in police calls on July 4th. In recent years, crime has marred some Fort Worth celebrations. In 2023, 3 people were killed.
give it gas